Hi there, guys. Yes, it's Home with Jones, and I'm joined today with Richard Bosson. Richard Bosson is a personal trainer and performance coach. And yeah, hi. Thank you for joining us.
No worries. Good to be here, man.
No, brilliant. So today, basically, guys, we're going to be talking about mindset, positive mindset, and not just towards performance, but just in general. You know, Rich, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's pretty topical at the moment. Trying to keep a positive mindset, obviously, with everything going on. I think everyone I speak to is sort of a bit flat and a bit fed up with all the things that are sort of kicking off around the world. But there are some good things to be taken from it, and yeah.
No, for sure, for sure. What I find, when we first got into lockdown, like everyone was like, "Oh, into this fitness thing." Everyone was becoming a personal trainer, kind of thing. And I was like, "What? Oh my god!" And then I kind of like put my head in the sand, and then we went into lockdown again and again, and I was thinking, and it came to the new year, and I was like, "Wait, what am I doing? This is what I do. I need to take action." And you know what I mean? And I had a mindset shift from since the new year, and I was just like, right, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to utilize my skills and my interests and move forward, you know. And I was thinking to myself, well, there obviously I had a block, I had some anxiety. If I'm feeling it, you know, other people may be feeling it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were feeling it, you know. How have you found that, and have you seen that as well?
Yeah, I would say I was the same. Like the first lockdown, well, right, the first lockdown, I was having a baby, so me and my partner were just having our first baby, so it was a bit like
Me
bit of a
too.
weird time for us. Yeah, yeah. So we sort of had that to keep us occupied, really, and like we were sort of setting up everything in the nursery and that sort of thing. But I think as time's gone on and the uncertainty about when we're coming out and what life's going to look like afterwards, and people losing their jobs and all those types of things, like it's really easy for everyone to get bogged down in like the negative aspect of the of the lockdown. So like yourself, I found myself like quite flat, like missing the gym, missing seeing my clients, missing training, and you have to kind of find someone to maybe bounce ideas off in terms of like, this is how I'm feeling, like, and then somebody gives you like a little kind of nudge in the right direction. So I think that's been like, for me personally, like looking forward, trying to get people in and bounce ideas off and make sure that we're all kind of banding together and looking for the positive side of things, because there definitely is positives that we can take from it. For me, like this whole thing has made me way more grateful for the things that I had before. And just knowing that we will get back to them eventually is like, that sort of keeps me in that kind of positive frame of mind, positive mindset. We'll get back there, things will be better, type thing.
No, for sure. I mean, I've been messaging you and stuff, for years now, just friendly messages and stuff. And I found when I did message you, because we were going through the same thing, it's like you could relate to me. It's like, right, yeah, cool. And also with other things like with work or with my training or whatever, when I would message someone and they got back to me, it was like I felt connected. And sometimes it was them reminding me of how far I've come or what I need to do or the progress that I've made. Do you know what I mean? And I found that quite important, quite useful, to have that feedback, but also that response, like that someone is there,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that you're in it together, so to speak.
yeah, like everyone's in the same boat, really, and it's finding that kind of common ground and like trying to G each other along and like keeping each other motivated to do like all the positive things that we can still do. Like I know we haven't been able to go to the gym, but like I found myself out running or doing a Zoom class with my gym down in Southampton, and like connecting with people in like new ways and finding ways to remain positive through the new avenues that this sort of lockdown has created.
For sure. And I forgot to mention that in the intro. You're one of the coaches at Next Generation Martial Arts in Southampton, NGMMA. So how have you found being one thing before lockdown and then during lockdown and emerging out of it and then, you know, going back in, and then we're on the cusp of, you know, we've got that roadmap set out now. You know, how have you stayed in touch with everyone and your clients as well?
Yeah, like I've kind of been doing. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. That was really weird. Sorry, mate.
All good, man. You know what? That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, all the time, mate.
Talking to me, and I'm like, huh?
Like in terms of keeping in contact with clients and guys down the gym, obviously like social media, which I'm not massive on social media, but just like dropping in with text messages and things like that, just trying to stay on top of things and just checking in to see how people are doing. I think the becoming a dad over lockdown, and that's all we sort of know now as a family, is like this lockdown life. That's been it's been a hard one to get my head around. So yeah, just can't wait to get back to a bit of normality and, you know, take her out. And
for sure. I mean, there's that saying, let me see if I can get this right. It takes 3 weeks to develop a habit.
It takes, for sure,
3 months to develop a lifestyle. Now, we've been in this for like a year now.
Yeah.
So people's lives have changed like dramatically to this new normal as such. And how can people break that mold? So as a performance coach, what could you say to somebody that has, I don't know, lost motivation or developed low confidence just for being at home or not being able to do the things they used to be able to do?
In terms of motivation and trying to keep on top of motivation, I would make it absolutely clear, like where you want to get to, but also why you want to get there. I think it's really easy for us to say, oh, I'm going to go and do a run this week, or I'm going to, do a Zoom class. But it's like, why are we doing it? Like, we have to make sure that we have that vision of where we want to go in our mind and why we want to get there. It's like, why do you want to go for a run? Well, it's because I want to lose weight. Well, why do you want to lose weight? Well, because it will make me feel better, more confident, I improve my self-esteem, that sort of thing. So having that vision of where we want to get to and why we want to get there is really important. In terms of confidence, just keep doing it. You just got to keep trucking, keep trying to improve. Like, we talk about marginal gains, like trying to do as little as possible, the small amount as much as possible. So like just those 1% gains in improvement, the 1% faster, 1% stronger, just getting up and saying, that's enough for me today. I got 1% better today. Just doing that bare minimum, for sure.
You said something that was really good. It really resonated with me. It's like, you get like a thong on, go ding.
Yeah. Sure. Light bulb moment.
And that was why.
Yeah.
In capital letters with an exclamation mark and a question mark. Why? And for me, because I've had people, my clients, friends, even family members be like, oh yeah, it's easy for you, Nathan. Like, you're a fighter. Like, this is what you do,
Yeah.
And it's easy because I've got a clear why. I need to train because I need to fight, or somebody's trying to hurt me in the fight, so I need to do my bit. So it's always there, but it's not there now. I don't have a fight, because I was struggling. It was like, well, it's the why. And
just on that point, I think it's really important for us to focus on the positive why. So like, improving, getting better, with your thing, you've got like, you can win a fight, you can, you've got a bit of celebrity, that sort of thing. But it's also important for some of us, depending on your personality, to recognize what happens if I don't do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what sort of things, if I put off this run, if I put off this kind of exercise regime, what am I going to look like in 3 months, a year? Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I mean?
No, 100%.
It's good to strive towards things, but also like we need to run away from some nasties as well, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that is a very, very good point. So,
Yeah, that's not for everyone though, because
no,
some
no.
people, yeah.
So, okay, so going off on that tangent, it's not for everybody. So, what is out for other people then, or what strategies or techniques could other people do? I use a why. What if a why doesn't work for you?
Well, if you don't have a why, a positive why, that I don't think maybe necessarily you're looking in the right direction in terms of what you're doing. So like I know plenty of clients who are like, oh, I'm going to start running, and they don't like running. It's boring to them. They don't have a community with their running. I'm not getting at runners here, but I would say find something like you said that resonates with you. That's that light bulb moment. If you're looking at things that you think should be positive that you're not necessarily feeling it to be positive, then you might need to look elsewhere and look for different avenues for self-improvement. But it's tricky if you haven't got the motivation to do something. Like, it's really difficult to manufacture that motivation to do something, for sure.
For sure. And I see a lot of stuff, on my Instagram and stuff, and there's that whole, like, especially within sport and performance, there's these two camps. You got your motivated and you got your disciplined. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like, if you're not motivated, how can you become disciplined or pull from the motivation to get disciplined to
yeah.
then stay disciplined, so you don't need to be motivated to.
I think
What advice would you give, or how can people get
um,
to that?
well, I think it's really important to talk about context here, because if we're talking about professional sports not necessarily being motivated, it's different to say like your day-to-day person who wants to get fit or stay healthy or those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said earlier, like for your everyday person who's trying to get fit or maintain a healthy lifestyle, find something that you really enjoy, and find something that actually resonates with you, that's going to give you a sense of fulfillment and community, and like that you're actually going to enjoy doing. In terms of like a professional sports person trying to maintain that kind of intrinsic motivation, it's really difficult if you've lost the love for the sport. But often there are other rewards from being a professional sportsman, like money and being able to support your family and those types of things. So I think it would be different for those two camps.
No, that's fair enough. And also, like, in my head and in my own life, I'm faced with two other camps of things that I can control, things that I can't control.
Yeah, yeah, of
And
course.
it's like two things on my shoulder. Like, do you know what I mean? So, what strategies do you have, or techniques do you use with your clients to help separate what you can control, what you can't control, to stay focused in whatever they're working towards?
Well, just asking them really. I think it's really good just to have that open dialogue, and maybe have a conversation, or to get it written down, or depends on the situation, of course. But I would say just a strategy of a sheet of paper, line down the middle, things I can control about this, things I can't control about this. It's that simple, I think, sometimes.
Right, yeah,
And often,
yeah.
sometimes there's a grey area. So, like controlling people's opinion of you, that might be it's like a little bit of a grey area. So you can manifest behaviours that can ultimately affect how they react to you, but you can't ultimately impact how somebody.
No
Excuse
doubt.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you do have to go back to old school and just write things
Basics.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, I
for
like
sure.
that. I like that.
Anything that's your own thoughts and your own behaviors ultimately are the only things you can actually really control.
No, for
Um,
sure.
so yeah, just having that open dialogue, or doing that kind of exercise of just a sheet of paper,
Yeah, no,
line down the middle.
I like that, because I suppose it doesn't matter who you are, there are things that will pressure you, or acts as a weight on your shoulders that you can control, and things that you can't control. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
So
And I think recognizing what you can and can't control also gives you that kind of, it also frees you of a lot of baggage sometimes.
right.
So just recognizing, oh, that's not out of, that's out of my control. I can't do anything about that. It kind of frees up that mental space.
Mm.
Instead of worrying about the things you can't control, you can focus more solely on the things you can control. Like, you only have so much capacity for focusing on things, and you don't want to be wasting it on things that, yeah, ultimately, it's nothing to do with you really.
No, that's right. That's right. I like that actually. Yeah, because then get that weight off your shoulders and do something you enjoy, or put that energy into whatever you're working towards. Whether
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's focusing, also focusing on like the processes, not the outcomes of what you're doing. Like, going into a fight, you've done all your preparation, you feel good, but ultimately a little slip of the foot or whatever, you can make the result go completely the other way to what you wanted and what you were expecting. But mentally, I did what I could control. I was there. This is, I did all my preparation. I had a good game plan. I was in good shape, that sort of thing.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I feel that as well. Like people are like, oh yeah, but they may say, oh Nathan, I want to lose weight, or I want to do this or do that. It's like, yeah, cool, right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'll train you, and this is what I want you to do. So you know what I mean? That's up to you to work towards it or whatever. And I think if people don't do what they can control or take ownership of what they can control, then they're not gonna progress or
Yeah, absolutely.
get
That
to where
old
they need to
that
be.
old thing about leading a horse to water. You can't make it drink.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. So yeah, tell us more about what you do.
So at the moment, I'm doing like I said, the boxing coaching down at NGMA, just helping out at the academy, so which is like a beginners only gym, like it's solely for beginners. So well, before lockdown, I was coaching a class down there. Doing a bit of personal training, sort of one-to-one, mainly sort of fundamentals, boxing and kickboxing, and also working with clients to support their kind of their goals, their exercise stuff. Ultimately, I'd like to work with athletes and work on their performance stuff, but it's not. It was sort of something that I was building towards before lockdown, but that hasn't really materialised. So, just working with the beginners at NGMA, and yeah, just doing my personal training on the side, really.
No, brilliant. And I think with what we're talking about, how it affects everybody, it doesn't matter what level you are, if you compete or you don't compete, whether you fight, if you don't compete fighting, we're all fighters at the end of the day, because
Yeah.
we've got this far. You don't want to just get this far to only get this far, and I think it doesn't matter what you're doing. We're all faced with pressures. We're all trying to get through. And I think some of the things that you said, have yourself a why. Very important. Write things down, what you can control, what you can't control. Also important. Reach out to your support network to get that feedback. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's just to check in or to report back, oh, look, I've been up to this, I've been up to... Actually, yeah, I have. I've done it. Or
Yeah,
for them,
get some recognition. Like, recognition is important.
yeah,
It's not the be all and end all to get recognition, but it makes you feel good. And like, if you're working towards something, you might work a little bit harder once you've got a bit more recognition.
for sure. And it's not just the end goal, a pat on the back. It could just be, you know what, I didn't feel like going to training, but I got up and I did it. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think that's underrated.
Just being, just being comfortable, being uncomfortable as well is something that I've really kind of been sort of looking at recently, and just dealing with adversity just a bit more positive, with a bit more positivity. Sorry, like especially now with everything that's going on, like look for the positives in it, and look for ways that it's helping you, being in those kind of pressure situations.
No doubt. No, that's been really helpful for me as well, and I'm not just saying that because we're recording it. I mean, I'm saying it genuinely, because every time I talk or have a conversation, I either remind myself, oh, you know, I did do this, or I do know this, or whatever. But then at the same time, you educate me with the response, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, and I stay on that frequency. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, you have to bounce these ideas off of one another. Just because we get wrapped up in our day to day, we're like, you know, we're all creatures of habit. We just go around our day to day life, and sometimes we slip into old mental habits, and we're like in a negative headspace, or we're having a bad day. And sometimes it just takes somebody to be like, oh, do you remember when you were talking about that? Or, you know, be a bit more positive, or, you know, you're doing really well, just giving you a pat on the back. It just sort of snaps you out of that kind of negative mindset and gets you going where you want to be, really.
No, for sure. No, that's brilliant. All right, so just before we wrap it up, what advice would you give somebody? I know that doesn't narrow it down, but a general like knowledge bomb or a golden nugget that you have that you find that you hand out all the time, or that's your go-to bit of advice. Hit us with it.
That adversity and hardship isn't always a bad thing, and actually that sometimes it will scream at you that this is awful and you'll feel really bad, but ultimately there's loads of lessons and loads of growth opportunities within those hardships.
I like that.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to take that. You don't mind, do you?
No, of course, mate. You carry on. You can have it. Obviously, like, I don't know, like a new example. Like, so I've been thinking about this recently, and how to deal with like a loss. And there are two people that are opposite ends of the spectrum for me that I've been thinking about. And one of them was Deontay Wilder when he lost to Tyson Fury, and the other one was Francis Ngannou, just won the UFC at the weekend. Deontay Wilder got outclassed by like a really superior boxer, and then has come out with all these crazy excuses as to why he lost, saying that the costume was too heavy, that Tyson Fury was cheating, that his drink was spiked, and all those types of things. He's completely lost the opportunity to learn from that experience. Like, it would have been awful being in that ring and being Deontay Wilder at that point, you know, at that point in time. But there are so many things that he could have taken away from that performance. Like, so many learning opportunities. And then you go on the flip side, you got Francis Ngannou, gets dominated for 4 rounds by Stipe Miocic, and goes, fuck, I need to learn, you know, lessons from that fight. And he's gone away and he's worked, and he's developed his wrestling, developed his cardio. He's like looked at his mindset and his pacing throughout the fight. Like, there are so many things that he took from that really negative experience, and look what happens. Like, he's come out and he's implemented the game plan that he gained from that adversity, and now he's the UFC heavyweight champion.
For sure. Well, there's that saying, you either win or you learn, you know, and
yeah, exactly that.
I'm an advocate for that as well, you know. So I can really relate to what you're saying, and I agree. So no, that's another little golden nugget there. No, wicked.
Yeah. So yeah, look for the lessons, man. Look for the lessons in there.
No doubt, wicked. So where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, RB Performance. I might need some help with my social media stuff. I'm not very good at it.
Hey, yeah, don't set yourself short here.
Well, so I'm on there, or I've got an email, rich@rbperformancecoaching.co.uk, and the website will be rbperformancecoaching.co.uk.
Wicked. Rich, well, thank you.
No worries, man.
Really appreciate it. It's been awesome to have you on Homes with Jones. And if anybody out there wants to reach out to Rich, by all means do so. And yeah, hey, look, we'll catch up very soon, and hopefully we'll be out of lockdown.
Yeah, well, hopefully, next time I see you, it'll be black belt grading, hopefully.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
ready.
yeah. I need to get me some cardio, man.
Wicked, man. Rick, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate.